Bees don't try to convince flies why honey is better than poop, or why pollen is better than poop. I guess bees eat pollen, not honey. Anyways, if someone is whining, complaining, always victim mentality, not taking responsibility, if they're dragging you down like a boat anchor, well, why are you trying to continuously bring them up and lift them up? Yes, lift people up. Yes, bring them up. Yes, encourage people. However, if they're constantly dragging you down and pulling you down, sucking the life out of you, sometimes because that can be addictive for a lot of people. And sometimes it's easier to pull people down than to lift people up. If you think about even if someone's standing next to you on a chair, it's a lot easier to pull them down than it is for them to pull you up, right? So that's why a lot of times it can be easier, and it can become addictive for people as well. It's an addiction. Victim mentality is an addiction. Versus, I tell people there's no blame, there's no fault, right? And it's just about taking responsibility of the stuff that happens to us. Life is not easy. Life's not perfect. I've had a lot of stuff happen to me, but I've used that to build my strength, to make my scars, my strengths, my wounds, my wisdom. And so, pulling people down can make people feel better about themselves. That's why a lot of people do it. That's why people are often, chirping people or bringing them down, or commenting or bad mouthing people, right? Now, yes, great to help them, right? But it can be always a drag. If someone refuses outright to shift and change, or always complaining, or always bringing you down, or telling you can't do something, or it can't be possible, or they're whining and complaining constantly, or victim mentality, if that's bringing you down, and if that's affecting you and your happiness, your success, your fulfillment, your energy, if they're vampiring your energy, then maybe it's time to cut ties, or have boundaries at least, or reduce dramatically the amount of time you spend with a person, or have boundaries. Look, I want to talk about good things, and I'm happy to help you. I'm happy to hang out or be friends, or employ you, or whatever this is. But if you get into this victim mentality, and if you try to bring me down or tell me I can't do something, then I'm going to stop hanging out with you, right? And sometimes, honestly, are you just spending time with these people, or types of people, or clients, or relationships, or whatever, because you don't have anyone else? If so, you need to let these people go. You need to have an abundance mentality. I learned a lesson in this. I had a kind of a poverty mentality, or scarcity mentality years ago, and I would put up with, or work with people that I didn't want to work with. I would attract people, friends, relationships, you name it, people often that I didn't want to work with. And you need to let those other people go before the new things can come into your life. It's like a house. It's like if you want to get rid of all the old furniture, clean the house, paint the rooms, you got to do that before you put in the new paintings and the new pictures, and then the new furniture and the new stuff in the house. You got to get rid of the old stuff first. So often, yes, as TD Jakes says, be okay being alone. Be alone, but avoid being lonely, and avoid letting someone drag you down and bring you down to the basement, just so you don't have to be alone, and just so you don't have to feel lonely. Be alone, but not lonely. Right. So one thing too, on the other side of this, is to be careful of people who are too positive and never want to talk about things that bother you or them. If you bring something up that bothers you, and they change, they interrupt or change, or they just talk about themselves, or if they never want to talk about something that's clearly bothering them, then that's toxic positivity, and that's an issue in itself. Like I said, make your wounds your wisdom, and your scars your strengths, and you still must address these wounds. Yes, grow from it. Like I have all the crap that happened to me, grow from it, make it resilient, make you stronger. If I want something, I'll never give up just because of the things that happened to me. And you still need to look at the stuff. You still need to address those wounds, heal, forgive, choose to let it go, learn from it, grow from it, and get the learning. Otherwise, it'll still bother you, or you'll still think about it. It'll still come up, or it'll cause unconscious issues in the form of not getting what you want, repelling things you do want, attracting people and things you don't want. So that's my little talk today, and a little bit of guidance on having boundaries with people. Boundaries create safe spaces. Boundaries create great relationships, whether it's with a client, or a boss, or employee, or a family member, or a friend, or an intimate one. Right? Boundaries create good relationships. Boundaries make good relationships. And work on yourself. Do the inner work. And remember, no one does it all by themselves. If you want to execute, wrong way. If you want to execute, my screen is mirrored today. You want the success. This is Robbie being bonkers. You're going to have to deal with some of the things like failure, right? It's going to happen. And then, of course, you got to persevere, right? So that's why I have these posters behind me. These are the four things that need to happen, the four pillars to success. And if you need some help, because no one does it all on their own, I'd love to talk. This is what I'd love to do, making sure people become influential and feel powerful and confident, and they can assertively articulate why they're valuable, why they're awesome, why they should hire you, work with you, do business with you, befriend you, whatever it is. So if you want to up your game, take everything to a whole new level, whether it's your money, your influence, your relationships, your health, your success, and live passionately, let's have a conversation. Unleashyourpower.com, James at unleashyourpower.com, and we'll have a conversation. Until then, I am James Robert Elliott, international best-selling author of the book Unleash Your Power. Go have your best